Why don't more scientists believe that God exists? Without question, there's very powerful and compelling scientific evidence that a creator played a role in the origin of the universe and the origin of life. And when I present this evidence many times in front of audiences, I'm often met with the question, well, why don't more scientists believe that God exists if the scientific evidence for God is so compelling? Well, my first response is that there's a remarkable number of scientists that actually do believe in God. The latest surveys indicate that about 30 to 35% of scientists believe in a personal God. But more importantly, there are many scientists who question the evidence for God's existence not because of the quality of the evidence, but because of philosophical concerns. When we look at the philosophical framework that undergirds modern science, it is one called methodological naturalism. And this is a complex term that just simply means that when you engage in the practice of science, you have to pretend or operate as if God doesn't exist. Methodological naturalism is purportedly neutral on the question of God's existence. But again, the idea is that when you interrogate nature, when you try to find explanations for the universe and for phenomena in the universe, you can only appeal to mechanistic, natural process, materialistic explanations. You cannot appeal to agency, you cannot appeal to the supernatural. And so even if the evidence points very clearly to a creator's existence and a creator's role, let's say in the origin of life, or you see scientific deficiencies with evolutionary explanations for some phenomena in biology, you cannot go down that path according to methodological naturalism. You have to only explore those explanations that, again, are materialistic or mechanistic in nature. And as a result of this, there are many scientists who then argue that there is no scientific evidence for a creator because that would be outside the bounds of science. But if we relax the constraints of methodological naturalism, what we actually see is that the evidence very clearly points to the role of a creator in the origin and the design of life and the origin and the design of the universe. So there is compelling scientific evidence for a creator, and what keeps many scientists from seeing that evidence isn't the quality of the evidence, but it is philosophical considerations largely shaped by a materialistic framework.